A highly anticipated peace deal to stop a sprawling Middle East war was signed, celebrated, and completely abandoned on the exact same day. After weeks of devastating exchanges, the United States, Israel, and Iran had agreed to a sudden 2-week ceasefire. Global markets immediately rallied, and world leaders exhaled, assuming the immediate threat of a broader conflict was finally on hold. But the ink was barely dry before the violence returned. Almost instantly, a massive wave of airstrikes hit Beirut, Lebanon, and out on the water, a sudden economic blockade choked off global shipping channels. Both sides used the agreement as a tactical loophole, exploiting the temporary quiet to reload for a deadlier phase of the war. The fatal flaw of the ceasefire was in its wording. Neither side actually agreed on what the text legally covered. Israel argued the truce applied directly to Iran, explicitly excluding any of Tehran's proxy militia groups operating in the region. That strict interpretation left a massive target wide open: the militant group Hezbollah, based in Lebanon. Exploiting that gap, Israel launched its heaviest wave of airstrikes into Beirut since the fighting began. Over 180 people died in a single day, making it the deadliest 24 hours of fighting the area had seen yet. By treating the ceasefire with Iran as a temporary shield, Israel bought itself the time and space to aggressively dismantle Hezbollah without having to fight a two-front war. Tehran viewed the strikes on Lebanon as a direct violation of the conditions they had just agreed to. Rather than firing missiles, Iran retaliated by targeting the global economy. The Iranian military moved in and completely shut down the Strait of Hormuz to international shipping. This map shows the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow bottleneck where roughly 20% of the world's traded oil passes in peacetime. To reopen it, Iran issued a new demand. Every outbound barrel is now subject to a $1 toll. By holding global energy shipments hostage for cash, Iran is attempting to force the US and Gulf states into lifting their heavy economic sanctions. Right now, both sides are engaged in extreme brinkmanship, testing how far they can push limits while hiding behind a truce. The White House immediately demanded that the strait be reopened to commercial traffic. That leaves two looming scenarios. In the first, the US military steps in to forcefully clear the waterway, but any direct military action risks triggering Iran's nuclear program, which remains a highly volatile and untouched variable in the standoff. The second scenario is a frantic diplomatic scramble. US negotiators are already heading to Pakistan to try and rewrite the terms of peace, and they are working against a hard deadline. The 2-week ceasefire clock is rapidly running out. We are left with a dangerous paradox. Both sides publicly claim they want a resolution, yet their physical movements on the ground look a lot like preparation for total war. The next few days will determine if this is just a temporary stumble in a messy diplomatic process, or the exact spark that ignites the broader global conflict they just tried to stop.